You may have seen her on Dress My Tour, on your favorite celebrities, singers, dancers. She's been everywhere. You may have seen her on the Tamron Hall Show, also an author. Just broke the internet with her new song. Look at this, all that.
I am a celebrity fashion designer. I also am currently on Hulu's original fashion competition series called Dress My Tour. Go watch it. Yeah, so I used to manage a girl group in elementary school. Baby, oh yeah. Baby, it was full Destiny Child. I was changing members like clothes.
So did it always start off as the glamorous K. Daniels design, the wow moments as we see now? No.
No. Because at first I was trying to make sure I really could sew. Okay. I ended up getting a bridal client that paid me $3,500. She was the first client I had ever had to pay me anything like that. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that woman had no idea. I had never made no wedding dress or nothing. I was sharing my suite with another designer. And he actually was telling me, because he would see me up there every day, like making the stuff, which wasn't never for nobody, but just content. He like, hey, you need to be focusing on prom. Lo and behold, March hit, COVID hit. Everybody who had prom clients, you getting hit with disputes, you getting hit with wanting refunds, you getting hit with all this, baby. I was good. I made a gown for B. Simone. She had her 30th birthday shoot where she was officially announcing that she had officially become a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
That had to learn a lesson in itself for me too, because that was my first big break that I wasn't tagged in. And she said what she said. Oh, okay. But anyway, he told my mom once he finished the operation that had I failed one or two more times, I actually would have been paralyzed. Yeah.
Who is your dream client, if you will?
Right now, how
did we get to be on Dress My Tour? Like what we saw, you didn't see?
The thing is, okay, so when it comes to Michael is one of those people, once I saw it on screen, once I went back, it just gave, to me, I'm like, dang, he really didn't like me.
You were getting evicted. Not losing your apartment, but you were in the process of getting evicted.
I was months behind before I left. So it was long.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here shaking like, trying to breathe. And then so when I heard the name, that's why literally I just like lost everything and just dropped to the ground because I just could not believe it.
But simultaneously, you were not only doing your book, you was working on the sound. The whole video. How is K. Daniels love life? I mean, baby, because your chocolate,
baby, null and void. Null and void.
Oh, but what? There was a lot of great process.
You need to talk to your daddy.
To the king, then he told me to ride. I'm a brand new creature, cause the owe me to die. I'm new.
What up, everybody? Welcome to Whitney D TV, and I have a special guest joining us. You may have seen her on Dress My Tour, okay, on your favorite celebrities, singers, dancers. Baby, she's been everywhere, okay? You may have seen her on the Tamron Hall Show, okay? She's also an author, okay? And, okay, just broke the internet with her new song. Look at this, all that. Who am I talking about? My sister, K. Daniels. I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea. This is long overdue.
So first and foremost, I am Jesus' favorite daughter.
Ooh.
But anyway, I am a celebrity fashion designer. I also am currently on Hulu's original fashion competition series called Dress My Tour. Go watch it. And I also wherever God take me or wherever He want me to do for the season, that's what I do. So I'm anything He need me to be. What He say I am, that I am.
Okay. That's what He sent you. So you are sent by I am. This journey has not always been easy for you. So let's take it back. Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
Pleasant Grove, Triple D. No, so yes, I am from Dallas, born and raised, never left, and raised in a single parent household by my mother, me and my sister. I do have a little brother on my daddy's side as well, but I'm the oldest. So yeah.
Wow. So when did you first know, hey, I like fashion, I got something to say?
Yeah, so I used to manage a girl group in elementary school. Baby, oh yeah. Baby, it was full Destiny Child. I was changing members like clothes. Like, you ain't come to practice. And I actually even auditioned at one point. America's Got Talent came to Dallas to cast, and I went to the audition and everything, child. And yeah, so yeah, I was for real deal trying to do that. And I got to a point where I just kind of forgot about it because I didn't know what to do. I didn't really have much help to like figure out how to like make that happen. So I kind of like left it alone. And then in middle school, I started falling in love with just styling and fashion because I wasn't really confident in myself.
Right.
And so I knew that I could dress myself up though. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus on doing little stuff like my toes and my nails and stuff I would wear and all of that stuff, and just kind of grew a love for fashion and just took it from there.
Okay. So before fashion was music. How did we venture into fashion? Sing into fashion.
So I started getting into fashion around middle school, and then just dressing myself and just trying to do different things, trying to be different than everybody else in uniform. So, it's only so much you can do. So I'm doing different stuff with my toenail paint and all that stuff, just trying to be different with my hair and all of that. And then when it came time for high school, I started searching for high schools down here that had fashion programs. And so at that time, it was only 3. It was Booker T. Washington, it was Skyline, and then Townview.
Townview, yes.
So,
yep.
I went to Townview because that was the smart school.
Yeah, it was.
And and my best friends at the time were all applying. Everybody was just going to different schools in Townview. But started in junior year, got close to the teacher who happened to be a fashion designer outside of being a teacher.
Wow.
And so got close to her, and we started spending time after school teaching me a little basics and stuff like that, and basically just took that and ran with it. And
so did it always start off as the glamorous K. Daniels design, the wow moments as we see now? Oh, no.
Because at first I was trying to make sure I really could sew. Okay. But it's not for the week. So when I first started, the easiest thing was to learn spandex. So back then, the people that was making clothes, we making club outfits because we need to be able to do a spandex dress.
Yeah.
So, and I'm using the overlock machine, which to me at the time was the easiest because that's how Ms. Blackman taught me, was through the serger. So I'm serging up club outfits and selling stuff for $30. A whole mess. I had people talking about they didn't like it, getting their money back. And then I see them on Instagram in it at the club.
Oh my. Okay, so club wear. How did we evolve?
So I went from club wear to gown.
Really?
Yes, because I figured out. So one thing that Ms. Blackman taught me that always stuck with me was a lot of sewing is common sense. So once you learn the basics, it's really just about figuring out how to get to that next point. So I figured out that, hey, these club dresses, the designs I'm doing up top, all I gotta do is throw a trend on the bottom, and it's a gown now. So I started playing with gowns and dresses. And so I started getting into that, and then that's when I got into prom. So I started doing custom prom before it even was a thing for real. But once I started doing that, my first prom dress that I made was actually out of bridal lace and taffeta, which neither stretched. So, and the girl who dressed I did, her name was Daylisa. Baby, body was bodying. So, Lord, how do I do this? Because she got hips and boobs and everything else, and this is not spandex.
Right.
But I got it done, and it was so cute. It was so cute. And from that point on, and I think they paid me $100 for that dress. Yes,
Are you
literally
serious?
$100. So that's how much. That's like what I was charging for the custom prom. Each year it just started getting bigger and bigger. I was getting more clients. But of course, during that time, custom prom dresses was not really a thing.
So you didn't know how to gauge it.
Unless your auntie was making your prom dress. Like back in the day, my mama aunt was made
Yeah,
her dress
my
or whatever.
my auntie made my little Cinco de
See,
Mayo little
yeah,
thing
you
that I
got
didn't.
somebody in the family
That's true.
that's making your dress. If you did get accustomed, but you're not really just
Right.
going, especially as
Seeking out
you know,
somebody. Yeah, that's true.
we not.
We
If
ain't finna
Auntie
see no
didn't do
money.
it, we going to,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I was making prom dresses and stuff, and then I went from prom dresses to bridal wear, and I just became fixated on bridal wear. Where I just wanted to be a bridal wear designer.
And now, baby, you are on celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
and you are doing. Is it performance wear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did we get there? Like
So-
who started that?
Okay, so I want to say this was back in 2017.
Mhm.
I was sitting on the couch just like this. I'm at my mama house by myself, living with mama still,
Mhm.
and I'm applying for jobs. And I'm like, yeah, because I had a $40 phone bill at the time
Hello.
that was due,
Uh-huh.
and I was sick of it because I didn't have no money to pay it. I said, you know what? I'm about to apply for a job again because I had quit my job. And I'm like, I'm finna just focus on this. Went south. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm finna get another job. My uncle, my mom's brother, randomly comes over to the house. So anybody that know my uncle knows he's very antisocial. He don't come around like that. You see him when you see him. So he dropped by, no warning, and he just come in. I'm like, what are you doing here? And I'm just stopping by. I'm like, okay. And so he was like, what you doing? I'm like, applying for jobs. He was like, why you doing that? I'm like, because I got a phone bill. I ain't got no money.
Need some money.
And so he's like, he was like, yeah, but don't you got a gift? I'm like, again, got a phone bill. They ain't got no money to pay. And so he's like, but I mean, can't you just use your gift to make money? I'm like, sir, if I could, I would be doing that. It's not working.
Right.
And so he was like, huh. And so he started taking me through the Bible, because at this time I've always known God, but at this time I'm not reading no Bible or doing none of that. So he starts taking me through these scriptures. It was 3 that he gave me. The third one, for whatever reason, I don't remember, but I remember he told me Proverbs 18:16, which I ended up tattooing on my arm so I could see it every time I worked. Your gifts will make room for you and bring you in front of great men. And then he showed me in I want to say it was Exodus, but he was showing me in Moses' time where God had literally anointed the hands of the craftsmen that was going to help build the temple. And he was just showing me that these people, like, they were specifically anointed to do these things. And he was like, and I'm like, huh, okay. And so he was like, if you could be doing anything, like if you had it your way right now, what would you want to do? I said, bridal dresses. He was like, how much would you want to charge for them? I said, a good 3,000 or so. Like, that'd be, a lot of money to me at that time. And he was like, so how many of them would you do in a month? I said, well, I could at least do 2. He was like, okay, so if you got that, you be making 6,000 a month. And I said, yeah. He was like, that's more than what 2 people a household. That's basically a 2-person household, right? Especially during that time, 2017.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, so what's the problem? I'm like, what's not clicking, Steven? Like, you keep saying this.
Right.
But how am I supposed to do that?
Right.
That's not happening right now.
Right.
And he was like, I'm just saying, and then he left. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So again, still applied for a job. Still did all that. But I want to say later that year, or maybe early that next year, I ended up getting a bridal client that paid me $3,500. She was the first client I had ever had to pay me anything like that. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that woman had no idea. I had never made no wedding dress or nothing. Not besides me playing with them myself, but she was my first really just bridal client. And this woman had money. Okay, her and her husband, they were good to go. I went to her house a couple of times for fittings and all of that. And it was, I was like, me and my mama was in awe looking at them. And the dress went bad. It did go bad. Looking back, I know now what I would have did differently. She knew. She didn't like what it was looking like, but she was like, oh, well, maybe, I'm gonna try it then. So her wedding planner ended up contacting me like the next day after the fit, and then was like, so we're gonna go with a different dress, but she wants you to still keep the money. Just go ahead and make her reception outfit and an outfit for her to dance in for she was gonna do a dance for her husband. Girl, let me keep all my money, didn't try to argue with me or down me or nothing like that. Still was very sweet to me and all that. But anyway, I say that to say, number one, showed me what God could do, because that was just a thought in my head not too long ago, Number two, it just led me to know, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I just need to keep going. So from that moment, I never quit again. So I just like, okay, God, whatever happens from here, this is just what it is.
Right.
So at this point now, I'm just doing customs, and I'm just going and going, like whatever people come to me for, I'm just doing at this point. But I always knew I saw myself on red carpets. I saw myself on stages. I went into 2020 heartbroken, in tears, because somebody had just broke my heart, and and
kicking yourself in the face right now, aren't you?
Yeah, had torn me to pieces, okay? And I just went into the new year crying, and I was just upset with where my life was at that time, and I just started praying, and I was like, God, I'm at this point now, I'm at the job again. I'm actually back at the job that I had quit before. They let me back on. So, and I'm like, God, when you ready, because last time I did it on my own and it failed.
Right.
But when you ready, kick me out and let me get fired. And I said that on New Year's. And after that, honestly, I really was just talking out the side of my neck, because I didn't think I was really gonna get fired. I never got fired. Like, I was always teacher's pet in school. I'm always gonna be the one doing the most at work. And so I wasn't really concerned with it at all. But I started, when I would leave work, I would go up to my studio that I would work in and just start making what I wanted them to wear. Because at the time I struggled with that. I was always making stuff that the masses would wear, the club outfits and the maxi dresses and the stuff that I felt like would sell, but I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So I made a point at this point, whether this sells or not, whether people like it or not, I'm finna go to the studio, I'm finna make what I want to make.
Right.
So that was the start of like the really like constructed pieces and the different shapes and all of that stuff, and it started getting attention on Instagram. Because little did I know, COVID was about to hit.
Right.
So everybody at home now, celebrities, whole people, everybody. We all at home.
We all at home.
Everybody sitting there. So you can't do nothing but look at my stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy even thinking back like how it all like played out, because what's crazy is that during that time, and he probably don't even remember this, but during that time I was sharing my suite with another designer, and he actually was telling me, because he would see me up there every day like making the stuff, which wasn't never for nobody but just content. He like, hey, you need to be focusing on prom. Like, this is where the money at. You ain't, well, I ain't gonna say I wasn't making no money because I had a job, but he's like, this is where the money is. You need to be focusing on prom. And I just did not feel in my spirit to focus on prom. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna just keep working on this. And lo and behold, March hit, COVID hit. Everybody who had prom clients, you getting hit with disputes, you getting hit with wanting refunds, you getting hit with all this, baby. I was good. I think I had maybe like 3 or 4 prom clients at the time that just randomly came to me. All of them was cool. Didn't nobody ask me for no refund. One of them didn't even care, and I made her 2 dresses. Didn't even say nothing about nothing. Just went about her life. The other ones was like, child, we'll get it another time. Like, nope, I was good.
Wow.
And but what I was working on started getting views during COVID. So during that time, I actually, and I don't remember who all I sent stuff to, but I actually had started getting, hits from celebrities. And I remember I sent something to K. Michelle, I sent something to Jocelyn, I sent something to Vivica Fox, Omarion. Like, I was sending stuff to people. But none of it got worn per se, but I did send stuff to people. And yeah, I think that's when the tide switched, because at that point I feel like God knew that I was serious. And so this is before I even I ended up getting fired later that year.
Really?
Yes. They let me go. I made a gown for B. Simone. She had her 30th birthday shoot, where she was officially announcing that she had officially become a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
And so I had made her gown for that shoot that she did, and that of course that went big over there, which that had to learn a lesson in itself for me too, because that was my first big break that I wasn't tagged in. Yeah, that I was tagged in. So that was a learning lesson as well. But it still was like, okay, Kendra, this is happening now.
But okay, since we're there, what's the importance of that? Why is it so important for people to tag you?
Well, because at the end of the day, social media is now the replacement for word of mouth. So back then, before social media was a thing, you hearing about somebody through the grapevine, which they did get us a lot of clientele. But now, if you ain't tagged, you ain't do it.
Right.
So, and especially with where I was at that time, I wasn't getting paid for the stuff. So it's like, okay, I'll do this for you for free, but make sure you tag me when it's done or whatever. But it gets a little tricky when it comes to like working with artists and things like that, because you have to, if you're not dealing with them directly, you're dependent on their teams to get that done, which it sometimes doesn't always translate.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was,
wow.
Yeah.
So was that your first celebrity client?
That was the first one that actually posted.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first one that actually posted. And it's crazy because that video got a lot of traction, because B. Simone was like that girl during that time.
Yeah.
And especially her, because she actually had been vlogging her process of getting to that point. Like, because she was nowhere near, well, not, I ain't gonna say nowhere near, but she was a ways from being a millionaire prior to her birthday. And she was vlogging it the like couple of months before. And I had been watching it. It was really inspiring. So to be part of actually, you know, making her dress for that moment was like amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. I don't care. It was. It was. And we not gonna take that from you.
And we not. And she said what she said. Oh, okay. But anyway,
time out.
I'm over here doing this with one lash on.
You sure is.
What is going on tonight?
Okay, let me just put a disclaimer. I don't know if she knew immediately that I made it, y'all.
Okay. Disclaimer.
She may have knew afterwards.
Okay, but you know,
no, but we're gonna let her slide. We're gonna give her some grace.
You know,
we're gonna give her grace.
Yeah,
she didn't know.
We put this out, but she needed it. She's going through. And to the person on the outside looking in, that's glamorous. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh, you found your lane, your niche, but you shaking your head. So why was there not any fulfillment at this point? Because it seems as though it's like, yeah, it's popping. You're hearing from God. God is telling you, okay, no, I don't want you working. I want you to get into fashion. You know, yeah, true enough, you started with music. That's something that you wanted to do. However, you're still around it. You're dealing with celebrities who are in it. You know, so what was that for you going through all of this up until this one point? Yeah, this is way before Dress My Tour and all this stuff. But at this point of life, how was that for you?
So there was a lot of like, what's the word I want to use? There was a lot of opposition along the way, because for one, to be quite honest, my family wasn't really backing what I was doing, because to them, fashion design was not a profitable job or career. We didn't see people, like when you think about fashion designers, you're thinking about Versace and all of these people that's just,
and they don't look like us.
Yeah. So you somebody that's been a straight A student and stuff, and you tell people, oh, I just want to be a fashion designer now. Like, they looking at you crazy. Like, no ma'am, you going to school.
Yep.
You doing this, you doing that. So I had, by this point, I already dropped out of school. I was a senior for 4 years.
Wait.
I
thought you
I supposed to have graduated college in 2017.
Are you serious? Okay. So
and well, for one, I was dealing with health problems.
Really?
So yes, I started having health problems when I was in 8th grade.
Out of nowhere, or were you born?
Out of nowhere.
Really?
Out of nowhere. I was in cheerleading. I had been cheering since I was 5, all the way up until that point. And I just one day just started having real bad back pain. And, you know, my mama didn't really take it serious because she like, look, go take an aspirin, go about your day. Like, girl,
was.
you was in 8th grade. What you mean your back hurting?
That's
Like, girl, what?
Put some Vaseline on.
All right, like, girl, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until that next year, which was my 9th grade year of high school, I got on to my favorite cheer squad, Carter Cowboys, and baby, the first practice, my body went like, my body was like, I had to call my granny to come pick me up early, and soon as I walked through the door at home, like my body I just like lost weakness. I lost, like, I'm literally like, without giving too much, but I'm literally vomiting. I'm like losing my
bowels.
Yeah, all of that. And we like, okay, now something really going on. We can figure it out.
Right.
So from that point all the way on, it just got worse and worse and worse. I started having seizures. I started by the ending of high school, my senior year of high school, I ended up having a seizure in front of the whole school. When school was over, and I ended up having to be out of school for like 4 or 5 weeks. And I had to end up leaving Townview. Because it was a lot. It's a whole story behind it. But I had to end up leaving Townview, and it was a lot. It would be times like for a couple of years where I was stuck on the couch. I couldn't do nothing. I would lose feeling in my legs. I could be out. Like, I couldn't go to the movies because I couldn't sit for longer than 45 minutes. It's a wrap. I couldn't go to the mall because I couldn't walk for a long period of time. So most times I'm just laying down, and had really no life. They had me on about 6 different medications 3 times a day. So I'm drugged up, zombied up most of the day. At this point, God had really separated me from my friends. So I didn't have no friends really around. So, and I ended up getting to a point, it was a whole thing, which I talk about in the book, but it was a whole thing where that was where I met God. In that season, because I had no friends. It was just me and him, and that's where I started meeting him. And I had to walk through that during this time. So I know I have these dreams, but I can't do it. It was like, even though it was an opposition, at the same time, it was pushing me further to my dreams, because it let me know I couldn't work a job. Because every time I go try to work a job, I'm having to leave due to medical reasons, or I can't sit for an 8-hour period. I can't stand for an 8-hour period. Then I'm young, so they're automatically wanting us to be at these labor-intensive jobs and stuff like that. I can't go get a corporate job. So it was a lot. And so this whole time I'm dealing with that. I've had 2 back surgeries, myomectomies. I've had child, even the enemy just don't like my body. Because even when I went to go get a wisdom tooth removal, child, that turned into my tongue getting damaged. The nerves in my tongue getting damaged. Had to get that operated on now. It just was one thing after another. And I'm like, God damn, I just needed my tooth removed.
You know why though? Because your hands are attached to your body.
Yeah.
And what you got is scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever he bless, the enemy's gonna come and try to destroy.
So baby, he was attacking my body.
He said, sit down. Yeah. Sit down.
And I wouldn't, and that's what was pissing him off. And my mama too. My mama was like, girl, sit down. And I be doing all this. And I'm not. Child, my mama was trying to put me on disability. I'm like, nope. Not doing it, because I don't care.
I'm gonna keep going.
So I'm dealing with all of that during this time, even to the point where when I went to have my second back surgery, he told my mom once he finished the operation that had I failed 1 or 2 more times, I actually would have been paralyzed. Because my bone was rubbing against each other. And so it was a lot.
It's a lot.
So that was something that I've been dealing with this whole time, on top of trying to build this. So it's like I kind of got to a point where I'm always expecting something to come around the corner. Right. So it's kind of hard to
celebrate.
Yes. Because okay, well, this is right now, but something else finna happen. So let me just prepare. Yeah. So dealing with that, and then like I said, for the longest, not really having that support, so to say, and I don't think it was out of malice. It just was out of ignorance. Like, we don't know where this is going, or why you doing this, or if this is even right, so it was a lot, and it was just me and God, like I said, having to go through this. So by the time I got to 2020, I'm like, okay, what we about to do? Because I didn't really have many people to look at or ask any advice or nothing. It just was just what it's finna be. So what we about to do?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that's a lot, and to be going through that and then still trying to build a career. So how did you get into performance pieces for celebrities? Like, was that a turn of things that you thought was going to transpire, or how did that develop?
So I originally was looking at doing red carpets, more so red carpets and stage.
Okay.
Like performance stage. And I kind of got, I don't know, I really think I started getting into it accidentally. Because it during 2020, I started making when I would just be making stuff, I started making like bodysuits. I think at one point I was doing like this combo where I was doing bodysuits, gloves, and then it was like this big fascinator hat. Those had like started flying off the shelves. Everybody was ordering those from me. And I think from that point, I started falling in love with the bodysuit idea. So I started just playing with different bodysuit designs and stuff like that, which in return, of course, it's a bodysuit. So now people that's needing stuff like that for music videos or photo shoots or things like that are gravitating towards that. So I think that's kind of how that started. And then eventually I'm like, I really like this, because I started actually liking seeing my pieces in movement, you know, on stage and all that stuff, in music videos and all of this. So I'm like, I kind of like this. So I think it kind of went from there, but that started in 2020. But I don't think that the main goal was always red carpet. And then I kind of just like accidentally shifted into performance. But then I was like, oh, this is where I really need to be, because then too, that's where you can be the most creative. So that's because even on red carpet, like, it only gets so creative. It still needs to be a gown. It still needs to be a suit or whatever. And depending on the award show, you can't do too much. So, you know, but with music videos and performance, you can do whatever.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Who is your dream client, if you will?
Right now, Sierra.
Really?
Yes. I have been wanting to work with Sierra for a long time.
Okay.
And I think when it comes to performance, especially right now, I don't think it get no better than dressing somebody like Sierra. So yeah.
All right, Sierra, you here? Okay. She put it out there. Okay. You hear? Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'll take it to the Lord. He'll go grab you. Don't worry about it.
How did we get to be on Dress My Tour?
I actually, so y'all remember Travian from the show, right? From Dress My Tour.
Yes, we do.
So I actually had known of Trey through social media, because I mean, in the fashion community, we kind of everybody know each other.
Yeah, it's kind of small.
Yeah, especially in the Black community, like we know each other. So he actually, I met him during the Don't Rush challenge. During what was that, 2020? Yeah. So he reached out to me to do the Don't Rush challenge with him and some other designers. So I did that, and that's how I met him. And me, him, and another one of my other friends, Diamond, would talk every now and again and stuff like that. So one day he randomly sends the application to me and Diamond, and I'm like, okay. And so, mind you, I mean, I feel like everybody may once or twice think about being on TV, but it wasn't really nothing that was just in my mind, so to say. But what's crazy is that God had me put it on my prayer board. But I'm thinking maybe somebody else would be,
right,
you know. But anyway, he sent it, and I'm like, okay. So, and he was like, I feel like y'all should apply, whatever, you know. They reached out to me, but I'm just sending it to y'all or whatever. I don't know how many other people he sent it to, but I filled it out right then and there. And as soon as I filled it out, they called me like an hour later.
What?
And they were like, oh my gosh, you're exactly what we've been looking for. We love your work, like yada, yada, yada. And then what was crazy is that they were actually closing casting, I think, that next day, because they had to have everything sent out to the network by, I want to say, that Friday. So this may have been a Wednesday. They were closing it Thursday because they had to have everything sent by Friday. So literally, I slid in through the nick of time, right, in that moment. So then, of course, we went through the whole casting process and all that stuff. That took a minute, but yeah, that's how we got there.
Baby, because we binge watched the show, okay? Might I ask, okay? We binge watched the show. And baby girl, I was upset, but I will say that you did your thing. You held your own. You went in there being genuinely you. And I just wanted to tell y'all that as someone that knows Kay, she went on there putting on those scenes. She went on there trying to act. She went on there. That is her. Who you saw is who Kay is. And that's the reason why certain individuals piss me off. Mike. Just didn't understand just from the gate. Okay? It was so much stuff this man was saying that you were not aware of, and you just sitting there just. So, and it's as weird as it is, you didn't get any kind of inkling of nothing. Like what we saw, you didn't see.
So the thing is, okay, so when it comes to Michael is one of those people that's just one of those personalities that you either love or hate.
Right.
For me, when it comes to meeting people and just getting to know people, being around people, I just take everybody at face value and I accept you for who you are and I move accordingly. So yeah, there would be little things that he would say that would kind of rub me wrong, but it's like, that's Michael, so whatever, so I would just push past it. But I had a lot of the stuff that y'all saw on TV, I had no idea that was being said or done. But what's crazy is that there were things that happened that y'all didn't see on TV that I knew about. Okay. So I was like, because there was one, like I remember the first time that I got an inkling that there may be something, but I didn't see it as that at the moment.
Okay.
But on the first episode, when I was making the outfit for the guy, I had it on the mannequin. It was the next day after, we got everything back. We put it on the mannequin to check everything. And he was looking and he was like, oh, baby, like the judges is going to read you for filth for, these hymns and this and that. And so at the time, I'm still trying to look and figure out what I need to do next. Because I know, yes, there's some things that I probably need to touch up before a runway. But I'm trying to still process it in my own mind. And he came to me and said that. And at the time, I'm just taking it as this is somebody that's older than me, that's more skilled than me. So I'm like, okay, let me listen to him. Well, what do you think? I should do. And he was like, well, just go run over this with the iron and da. I wasn't paying much attention to it because I'm just thinking you're just, trying to give advice as somebody that's older than me. And honestly, at that time, we all were cool. Like, and in my head, we're all like, when it's not filming, we're all joking, laughing, making jokes together. Like we good.
So you think it was maybe when lights, camera, action was on, here come Michael with the theatricals? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I mean, many of you guys may or may not be aware, I'm used to the industry. It's mean. They mean. Yeah. It ain't nice. So I mean, that's what you get. You get them like, oh yeah, they're gonna reach you, da. They used to tell us models we were fat and we were size 2.
Yeah.
If you had meat hanging off like that, you are fat. And so that is the industry for you. So I guess he was rubbing me the wrong way because I know you. The personality is befitting because at the end of it, like you said, he was telling you, okay, iron is, he was still telling you to do stuff. It's like, just keep all the extra. You ain't got to do all the extra.
Right.
So my thing is that I was finna segue into, and I think he was actually like, because I was asking, was it the whole production of it all? Because it seems as though it was like, is this just because the cameras are here that you're putting on? I know that's your personality, but are you judging it up because the cameras are there?
I would say no.
Really?
I genuinely feel like, especially going back and watching it, as far as everybody is concerned, everything that y'all saw on TV is exactly who
they are.
everybody
Okay.
was.
Okay.
I can personally say, to my own experience, I don't think that anything was judged up or whatever.
Really?
Everything y'all saw is who everybody were. Okay. So who y'all saw on screen when it came to him is who he was off screen. It's just that once I saw it on screen, once I went back, it just gave, to me, I'm like, dang, he really didn't like me. Because from episode 1, like I said, I had no idea that, you know, he went to 2 tables and was like, hey, Kay going home today. And I'm like, whoa, we was so that, like, it was a couple of scenes watching back where I'm like, whoa, like, it kind of hurt my feelings because I was under the impression that we were cool, you know? And it even got to a point where even later in the season, where off camera, I had a conversation with him because it did get to a point where some of the comments he was making towards me was starting to bother me. And again, I'm thinking we're cool. So I set him aside off screen and I'm like, look, you know, I just want to make you aware of this, you know, because you may not be aware of this, but some of the stuff that you're saying to me is very demeaning and it kind of hurts my feelings. And so, you know, I just want to let you know off camera. And you know, so that, you know, if it's something you don't know that you're doing, you'll know, you know? And he was like, I remember he just was like, well, why are you telling me this? And I'm like, I mean, I just want to, I don't know. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, well, you know, and he basically just let me know that, like, he's old school. He's old school fashion. Like, you know, he was mentored by the Andre Tallies and the so, you know, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. It's just that this is what it is.
He blunt.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I guess just for me, it just teeters on. It's one thing to critique. It's another thing to me to
demean.
Yeah, and be a bully.
Yeah.
And at some point, like, watching that, it almost gave I was being bullied.
It's just like, it was just giving, like, just too much. And I ain't gonna hold you, from a person outside looking in, not knowing what the outcome was, I would be like, it's something about her. Why are you steady messing with her? They had men dancers. I know it is bound to happen, but I did not like the JoJo Siwa scene. I could not really fully capture the moment of the designs while they were pop locking and dropping it in these wigs. They look like they represent the lollipop kids. I just didn't understand. They just had them.
Yeah. What was that about?
Yeah.
Where?
No. When they came in with those wigs on, we all was like, baby, what did you start wearing a wig?
What is this about?
We don't have rules, but it was very difficult because the first episode I had a man, but it wasn't for a particular artist. It was just to show what we can do.
Right.
So with JoJo being a woman and you give me a man model to show what she could wear, it was like, okay, God, how I do this? Like, how am I gonna portray this? You know, because I don't want him walking out looking like, you know, a straight out female when he's a male. And so it's like, how do I portray this? Then on top of that, what adds more issue to it is the fact that JoJo was known for color.
Yeah.
So it's like, so then it makes it even more girly because she's known for color.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like the dancer idea.
You did?
Yeah. Because on all the fashion shows, it's always models. So I felt like if the show is about dressing a tour, then why not use dancers? Because that's who would be wearing it anyway outside. Even with the artists, like depending on the artist, you know, they're going to be dancing in it. So to me, it makes more sense and it adds more entertainment to it than just regular, you know.
I would have loved to have seen the artist in it, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, I got it. I just didn't like all the extra.
And see, you know, I don't know. I kind of it's again, because what it does is it really tests you as performance designer.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, can they do all this jerking and it not bust? Can they do all this jerking and nothing falls off? Can they do all of this? Because as we see people go on tour and all that, they have wardrobe malfunctions all the time. And those are things that we have to keep in mind while designing. So,
speaking of,
yeah,
there was a heated debate about Macaulay's outfit.
Yes.
And her lying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't think she lied. I didn't. When I was watching it,
didn't.
I was like, the dancer did. Yeah. I didn't understand why they got on her about that.
But see, the thing is, the dancer lied, but she didn't, in my opinion.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because being there, I don't think that the dancer fully understood the question.
Oh, okay.
Because I believe when the questions was originally asked, I think she was thinking in her head, did something rip or did something break?
Okay.
Nothing broke, nothing ripped.
Okay.
The button just came undone.
Okay.
So then it's like when they then ask, well, you know, turn around to the back, what happened to the back? Then it's like, oh well, yeah, the button came undone, but I buttoned it back up. You know, but they were asking the dancer, so that's why the dancer answered. So Macaulay, of course, you know. Now, you know, everybody different. You know, I would have been like, well, yeah, you know, her button came undone. Nothing broke, but her button came undone.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's in Macaulay's eyes, you know, y'all didn't ask me nothing, so I'm finna sit here.
Like how whoever that lady is, no shade, I can't remember the model chick.
Lorianne Gibson?
No.
Oh, Kate Upton.
How she got into her. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
Hey.
Baby, the way all our mouths were agape. We was like,
oh my God.
She never
what's crazy is that Macaulay was the most excited about Kate being there. Macaulay loves Kate.
Right.
So when that happened, it was like
it was like a Tyra Banks moment.
Okay, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think that was a shell shock for everybody. We was like, heck just happened. Yeah, because I was like, I even was like, y'all,
that was not that intense, and she didn't lie to you. And why? I don't know, child.
I said they needed to make it be clear.
Okay.
Because what's funny is it was another lie.
Right? You get away with that, and I just kept saying, y'all gonna sit up here and allow this man to lie like this, to sit up here with that nip go and tell all of everybody like that, and it's just like my thing. And I guess because we were on the outside looking in, but I'm like,
why ain't nobody asking questions?
But I guess it's because y'all don't know. This is show for you guys. Y'all don't know.
Well, I was asking a couple of questions when he first.
Like, wait, huh? What happened? Right, what are you talking about? But
with every question I was asking, he wasn't responding. So I'm like, okay. So I left it alone. And I'm looking at everybody else. Everybody else looking just as lost and confused. So I'm like, am I missed?
Right.
Because, you know, we all had basically whoever would win, we got our own personal time with the judges after we won. And so I was thinking in my head, because I had won a challenge already, I'm like, well, maybe they gave it to him when he won that challenge and he was up there, you know. That's what I was thinking in my head, that maybe that's when they gave it to him. But I knew nothing else about the rest of the story, how he was telling people, you know, when we got to the judgment, whatever, and he was explaining, well, no, they gave me this letter and it says this about the JoJo and this about this, da 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 da. And I'm like, what's going on here? I was so naive. I really thought this man was telling the truth. Everybody else was like, he lying. I'm like, what do y'all mean?
Were y'all ever like kicking it and doing y'all thing outside of the show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we actually for a while we would have like these nightcaps in Macaulay's room. We would all be in there just laughing and joking and talking about life and everything. But yeah, those things out of everything, that's what I missed the most. Because we used to have so much fun. I remember one night we were outside the hotel, sitting outside, and it was me, Jess, Michael, Trey, Macaulay. We were all out there just talking and just like,
y'all, I'm over this. We over this, y'all. We tired. We just,
so that's why, like I said earlier, that's why I was so confused, because like literally outside of filming, like we all genuinely, it was like a family. Like, yeah, we was doing stuff that maybe the next person didn't like, but it really felt like a family to me. But yeah, we hung out. We hung out outside, and we got our little off days, and we would hang out and just de-stress. It was one night we went to WeHo, I think they call it, which is like the bar town of Hollywood and stuff like that, and hung out. Me and Michael and Trey and one of my other friends that lives down there, and baby, we was having a blast.
So it wasn't always glimmer and glam. We find out on the show that you were going through some stuff, some real life situations on the show. You were getting evicted, not losing your apartment, but you were in the process of getting evicted.
Yep.
Like, Sway?
Yeah. Before I left, I was months behind before I left. And I was really trying to figure out, and during that time, I was talking with God, like, what do I need to do? Like, what you want me to do? Everything in my natural head that I kept coming up with, it's like, well, no, can't do that. No, can't do that. And then with the job market being how it is, it's so hard to get a job. And then honestly, by the time I would have got a job, got through the week in the hole, got the first check, they wouldn't even touch what I owed at that point. So I just knew that God was telling me to just be still, just chill, just be still. So I'm like, okay. So I'm still believing at this time he was gonna fix it before I left. I'm like, okay, you gonna magically do something before I leave? Maybe the day came when I came and I had to walk out that door, and I'm like, Lord, now I'm walking out this door and this rent ain't paid, so what we about to do? Be like, child, locked my keys in the car right before my flight and everything. It was just a mess. But so I'm out there, and this is steady in the back of my mind. I would have, my sister was like checking my door periodically, trying to make sure no letters or nothing was on there. And and then literally the week before the finale, I had texted my mom before it set, and I just like, hey, like, can you go and go to my house and go mail my wig out? I wanted my good wig for the next week. So child, got there, we left, because our call times would be like 6 a.m. So I didn't get back to my phone till like after midnight. So I get back to my phone, and my mom had sent a picture of the letter that was on my door when she went to go get my wig. And what's crazy is that my sister had just checked my door maybe 2 days before. Nothing was there. So I called her. She was like, hey, call me when you can. So when we got to the hotel, I'm coming to the elevator, and I'm calling her back. She told me to FaceTime her. So as soon as I see her on the FaceTime, she's smiling and stuff, and she starts showing me my apartment. Everything was gone. My whole apartment was cleared out. So I done went from go get my wig to coming to my phone and seeing my whole apartment cleared out. So I immediately lost it, because I'm like, what the heck just happened?
Right.
So at this point, I didn't even worry about going to the elevator no more. I went out. There was a side door that the hotel had to go back outside. So I just walked back outside. And so Michael, VJ, and Trey were going up to the elevator with me, and they saw me walk outside. So they followed me outside, I guess, feeling like something was going on. And so I got them blocked out. They're standing like around me, but I had them blocked out. And my mom was just talking to me, and she's like, and I started seeing like all my friends and my sister and stuff like that, like, in the background. And I'm just crying, and she's like, no, like, don't cry, like, we got it, like, everything is gone, like, we cleared everything out, we saw the note, but we just got straight to work and cleared everything out, and we got everything taken care of. Like, I had the money to just go ahead and take care of it or whatever. And everybody was like, you got this, just focus, like, we got this, we take care of this or whatever. And so I'm just crying, like, I'm just like, really, what is going on? Like, I'm in shell shock. And my mom was like, Kendra, don't worry about what's going on right here. We got you. We took care of it. Just focus on what you're down there to do. And so I'm like, oh. So I go upstairs. She got off the phone with me. I go upstairs and I just immediately break down when I got to my room. And so, and I'm like pissed. I'm mad. I've never been this mad at God in my life. I'm cussing at him. I'm yelling. I'm like, this is stupid. Why do you have me here? This makes no sense. You're the one had me get this apartment. Then you get me there. You stop giving me clown. Now I'm sitting there looking stupid. Then you send me to this stupid show. And I'm here trying to live my dreams and do what you told me to do. Then you take my place that you put me in to begin with. This don't make no sense.
Right.
Make this make sense. I'm out here doing what you told me to do. And this is what you do. Like, this don't make no sense.
Right.
So first I called one of the producers and I was talking to her, my main producer, and I was just letting her know what was going on. I'm on the phone with her and I'm getting text after text after text from other people on the production team. Like, hey, we heard what's going on. Like, are you okay? Da da da. That ticked me because I'm like, who told y'all that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm knowing it's not who I'm talking to right now because she on the phone with me.
Yeah.
So who told y'all that? So that kind of bothered me because it was like I didn't even get the opportunity to share that myself. I'm still trying to even process what's going on. Right. But I knew I had to tell somebody on production so that they can know what was going on. So I called her, but I talked to her. She kind of calmed me down a little bit. I don't think it was no calming me down at that point. So I got off the phone with her, and then I called. I don't know if I called her or if she called me, but we had a talent manager that were like, we kind of jokingly called them like our babysitters. They made sure we got everything together and we was doing what we supposed to be doing. But she was like the head babysitter, and so. But she was a black woman, kind of older, not too older, but gave auntie vibes. Okay, and she was a Christian woman too. And she called me, and I was talking to her, and baby, she was just like, baby, she was like, I mean, you can cry, but go on and get that out of your system. You good? That's an apartment. You'll get another one. Don't worry about it, baby. That's a blessing. At the end of the day, now you ain't got to worry about that no more. It's gone. Now you can just focus on the competition. Don't even focus on it no more. Like whatever. Like, God made sure your mama then was there to take care of it. Like, don't even worry about that no more. You just focus now. Right. And so her coming as like really a mommy mode, so to speak, or really honestly the Holy Spirit, like, hey, get back in line. Yeah. Now, I get what you're feeling. Yeah. But get back in line. So by the time I got off the phone with her, I already was in repentance mode. I'm like, all right, God, I'm sorry. I try not to stay there too long. I do. And I'm like, Lord, I still feel away, but I'm sorry. I should never talk to you like this. Right. And I kind of, thank God that was a Friday. So I had my weekend to kind of get myself together because I knew once Monday came, I was going to have to talk about this on TV. I didn't know exactly how, but I knew it was going to have to get talked about. So I was trying to prepare myself for that, especially since at this point I now know all of production knows what's going on. Right. So, yeah, that's how that happened.
Okay, so let's spin things before we get to the end result, you guys. What was your best outfit that you made on there? Like, what was your favorite outfit that you made on there?
Definitely the Toni Braxton dress was for sure my favorite because I feel like out of everything, that was probably the most me. That was the one that I really was just like doing. That one and the Upcycle Challenge with Jesse James Decker.
I liked that.
That one I really had fun with. Now the Toni one, I had fun, but I was stressed because I was taking a lot of risks during that time, and also I was coming out from being at the bottom. So I knew it was a lot on me because if I end up back in the bottom again, I'm going home. Right. So I'm like, this got to be good, but I'm like, I know Toni likes sexy, and I'm looking around the room, everybody else is doing form fitting and whatever, and I'm like, this is not really what Toni normally wears, but I'm taking a risk, and so I was proud of what I made. I was standing by what I made, but I didn't know how it was gonna be portrayed, so I literally was holding my breath till she opened her mouth. Right. Lord, I don't know what's in that. But that was for sure my favorite look. And then second favorite was the Upcycling with Jesse James Decker, because that one I had complete fun with, because at that point I had so much peace in my spirit with God and stuff like that. I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna do what I do, and that's gonna be that. And so by that point, I was at peace and just having fun. And I don't know, something about the upcycling just kind of like got my creative juices flowing.
That was cool to watch you recreate those jeans. I was just like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What was your least favorite outfit? That's what you say. That you was like, oh God.
Let me think big. So we had JoJo, we had Coyle Ray, we had Tony, we had JT, we had French Montana, Ty Dolla Sign. Okay, so what's crazy is that design wise, I would probably say my angel look on the finale.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't have much time to really put too much thought into a lot of stuff because I was overdoing that episode. And so just looking back, I'm like, I wish I would have did this or that differently or whatever. So definitely, I still like it, but it probably was my least favorite out of everything. But because I would say, I can't really say Coyle Ray, even though I feel like that would be the obvious answer, because I still really liked what I made. I just would have, if I had more time to really just perfect it, I feel like it would have been better. But I still like the vision and design of what I did, except for the ski mask. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, we shouldn't have did the ski mask. BJ was right.
BJ was right.
But
look, she's gonna go all the way, even if it's all the way wrong.
Well, that's what idea. But the original idea we had, we were gonna make the ski masks from scratch, so they were gonna be made from fabric.
Oh, that would be.
So it was gonna be so dope, but we just was running out of time. I had no time to help them at all.
Right.
All my time was used on my look.
Right.
And so I was basically dependent on them to do the other two looks or whatever by the child. I ran out of time. They ran out of time. It was no time.
So why was it so important for you to display your faith?
Because I told God when I first got this opportunity, I told him, if you give me this, I'm going to make sure you come with me. Because at the end of the day, I know you the one opened up this door. I'm not going here without you coming. And also I knew what type of platform that was. So I'm like, I would be a fool to get on that type of platform and not mention you. Because I don't know who could watch this that could meet you through watching me. So I told him, and I was even nervous going there, honestly, right before. And I'm like, God, Lord, I hope they don't get mad I mentioned Jesus, because I'm going to have to walk off. I'm going to have to leave. Because I'm mad, but so thank God they did it. They let me be me, because, baby, I was Jesus in them on the table.
On your fit. I liked it, that bomber jacket.
On my bomber jacket that Kia made me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, I was like, she's representing, like I said, that is you though. You are a child of God, you're a woman of God. And it's not on you, it's in you.
Yeah.
You know? It was just
amazing.
Was
gonna be impossible.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was gonna be impossible to go there and not say nothing about God. It just wasn't gonna happen.
It was just amazing to see that. And how has the impact been since the show? From you, I mean, especially displaying your faith, has it been more positive and negative in a sense?
So I started getting a lot of messages from people that were touched by my faith on the show. I got one person ended up giving me a prophecy, and I'm like, oh, okay, Lord. But yeah, I was getting message after message of, oh, your story touched me, or oh, your faith, like, I'm so glad, and even when I was doing interviews and stuff, like after the show, like there were even the interviewers like, it was just so refreshing to see.
Wow.
You be on there, be positive, be a faith person, and be a Black woman, because we're not used to Black women. Like, and it was drama there, and you wasn't the drama. So it's like we're not used to that, and you know we applaud you for not being in that. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a couple of times that I had to
hold your mule.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like people don't understand. It took a lot of God in me through a lot of those circumstances, because had I been in my flesh, it wouldn't have been the same response. But I literally had to, God, Holy Spirit, like, leave it alone. Don't talk. Don't leave it alone. And so I had to just, okay, I'm gonna just be quiet. But it took a lot of that. Like a lot of what y'all saw was legit the Holy Spirit working in me. But yeah, I had some of the castmates, mention my faith and how my faith inspired them. I had the cameramen, the production, like a lot of people even on set stopped me to let me know that my faith really inspired them, and they really, it was refreshing to see or whatever. And I think for me, even outside of anything else, I knew if that's all that came from it, then I did what I was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, that's what I came here to do, was to show God. So if somebody got it, and I knew from it being seen on set, I'm like, I could just imagine when the actual public and the masses see it, how it's gonna be received, So I was happy about that, no matter what else. I knew it, of course, it's gonna be naysayers about everything, but whatever. So
who cares about them?
Yeah.
So those that have not seen the outcome, okay, spoiler alert, okay, stop what you're doing, head on over to Hulu so you can know what we're about to talk about. So you win. How was that? Like, did you know? Did you have any feeling? Did you be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take this? Like, how was that moment?
So there wasn't for me personally, it wasn't you're gonna win this. It was the best way I could describe it is, it was like an Ezekiel moment with God, where God asked him, do you think that these bones can live? And so it was more so of that, like, do you think that you can win? And so I got to a point probably like midway, because when I came out there, to be honest, I didn't come out there to win. Even though you would think that's what you expect. But I knew that God was bringing me out there. So I didn't know why he was bringing me there.
Right.
I didn't know if you bring me there strictly to just be positive, show love, and then you're going to take me off and bring me somewhere else. I didn't know. So I'm like, Lord, whatever you brought me out here from or to, I accept it, whatever. So I didn't want to immediately go out there like, yeah, I'm going to win and getting this money. I didn't want to have that attitude. So about midway through, when I was still there, I'm like, yeah, I could take this. What we really doing here? Because I'm supposed to have been going episode 3, so what's really going on, And so that's when it really started setting in, like,
you got some. I can
like what's okay. Okay. And so what I would do was, each day it said I would bring scripture with me that I would speak over myself before we started filming. And so towards that time, I started switching up the scripture, and I started speaking more so victory scripture over myself. And I wish I knew exactly what I was speaking, but
it was for the moment.
Yeah. I was speaking those scriptures over myself, but I switched up. I'm like, okay, God, I'm gonna walk this thing out like I could actually win. But it's crazy. The closer and closer I got, I'm like, hey, God, are you really about to do this? Like, is it really about to be a thing? Even at the finale, I'm like,
is this?
Are you to do this? Like, what is really going on? Like, it just felt so surreal.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm literally shaking. So they got to do the most. And the winner of Dress My Son. 2 minutes.
What?
Yes. Oh, it was long.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting here shaking, like, trying to breathe. And I'm just like squeezing the heck out of VJ hand. And then so when I heard the name, that's why literally I just like lost everything and just dropped to the ground, because I just could not believe it. And I'm like forgetting everybody else in the room. I'm like, Lord, really? really, are you for real? Like, it was so surreal. Like, it took me a minute to come out of there. Like, I mean, like months. I'm like, oh, what the heck just happened?
Right.
Like, what the heck just happened? Even on the way when I left, because I literally left the next day to go back home. So, I remember even on my way home, I was just like, Lord, what are we doing? Like, what fit? And then I started thinking, because I'm an ass. People say don't ask God, don't test God. Child, please. I'm gonna ask. So I'm sitting in the lift on the way to the airport. I'm like, Lord, so if you knew I was gonna win, save my face a little bit. Well, I'm like, no, why you just to go? How my stuff just got cleared out. So what are we doing? And I remember right then and there in that moment, it said on me, and the Holy Spirit was like, I need them to see the loss and then the win. Oof. And I'm like, oh. So it was never about me. It was never about the apartment. It was never about none of this. It always was for me to go there, sit there. Because during that time when he stopped my clientele, because I know now when I'm in seasons where he cuts off my clientele, because normally my clientele is no sleep.
Right.
So it'll be times that'll come when I'll get nothing. So during that time, that's what happened before I left to go film, and it was a quiet season. So literally, I spent that whole time praying, reading, getting closer to God, just doing all of that stuff. And during that time, it's like that's what you wanted me to be doing, and it never was about me getting that place because that was my dream place and none of that. It was like, no, this is where I need you to be for this season, and they gonna see this, and this gonna be for somebody else. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Cry whatever, but this ain't got nothing to do with you. I got a bigger picture with this.
Right.
So when he explained that to me on their way to the airport, I was like, I'm like, well, okay. So I left, got off that airport, went to my mama's house, but I was like, okay, well, Lord, you better give it back.
So how was that coming back home? How was that process period? Did you get right back into the thick of things? Like, what did that look like coming home?
So I try to explain to people, like, being out and filming is like being on a deserted island and being trapped in a bubble. So you're not in regular life. You're in this, I don't know, you in this bubble. You awake, you're not watching TV, you're not living your regular life, you not by your support system, you're not really talking to people because you don't have your phones. You're not, like, you're around you getting thrown in front of strangers that you don't know none of these folks. You don't know production, you don't know your castmates, you don't know none of these people.
Right.
And so but then you're stuck with them for 2 months or longer, depending on what show you're on. And so to go from that to, again, basically just drop to, like I said, right after the finale, that next morning, 8 a.m., I'm on the flight back home. So getting dropped back into the reality world, it was very weird because, like, the cast is my friends now.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you find yourself clinging to the
film? Yeah. The cast is my friends now. Like, y'all don't understand. I can't talk to y'all about what just happened. I can't, y'all are not going to understand what I'm saying or how I'm feeling or whatever. So honestly, a lot of us cling to each other for months. Like, we talked every day. We were on phone calls. We were texting. We were like, none of us could really just kind of shake back to life. And it was just really weird. And I found myself having to force myself to hang back out with my normal friends and stuff like that. And they like, you've been gone for months. Like, you need to come out and go do this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like y'all like that right now. Like, got other friends.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. And then not only that, you get into this routine.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, okay, there's no cameras in here.
Right.
The mic not on. Or you get used to that. And so it's like, okay, I could be free now, you know. But yeah.
So, would you do another reality television?
I want to know.
Oh, okay.
But if the Lord says I have to, then yeah.
Oh, okay. What about if it's find a love?
No.
Oh, no?
I don't want to find no love.
Oh, you wouldn't go on a television show? That's the big rave now. Going on shows, finding love. Oh.
They find in love or lust.
So let's venture on into your book, because you are an author now. Author, yes, but you were there. As I said, the Victory Before Dress My Tour. When I tell y'all, okay, if you have not watched the show, go watch Hulu right now. It's still on, right? They can look it up, right? Go look it up, okay? Go get caught up, because you're gonna see her again, okay? She's gonna come back, okay? Y'all hear it first, okay? She's gonna be back as one of the panelists up there judging the next season, okay? Watch, okay? You come back, because I said it first, right? But simultaneously, you were not only doing your book, you was working on the sound. That whole video. I just wanna read the back cover for you guys real quick. You may have seen me fight to the finish on Hulu's original competition series, Dress My Tour, or making a 12,000-foot dress for fashion icon Paris Hilton. I've got to throw that out there, y'all. Or even dressing big names like Hey Michelle, SWV, Janae Ayeko, Ari Lennox, Jacqueline Carr, Erica Campbell, and many more. But what many do not know is the many trials and tribulations that I fought through to be able to even stand on that stage. My testimony has always been greater than fashion, and God led me to go ahead and tell you guys my story. I have survived so many things, and I'm sure many of you that are reading have survived many things too. I want the story of my life to be a testament that no matter what happens in life, you can make it to victory. Y'all, please go check out her book. And while we're here, because I haven't got past the 3 chapters, okay? Because I got a little teaser. Me and my husband got a little teaser before y'all. We sure did. Okay, and when I tell y'all, I was on the edge of my seat. This girl is a good story writer, okay? Oh my gosh, I love to see you get into like fiction, drama of it all. Because baby, I was like, but this is her life. It was sad, and I was like, oh my gosh. So when I tell you guys I'm going to be in it, but let's get into a little bit of your book. What was the inspiration? Why now?
So I always had people over the years tell me that, like, you need to get ready to write your book. And I'm like, okay, I never saw that in my future. Well, not in the near future, so to speak. But I knew that I had a very interesting story, because I just, for lack of better words, have survived a lot of things. So, especially at my young age. So, I didn't think this was something that you do now. I'm thinking like this is something that once you old and you can been through 50 million things. And so last year I was, just sitting, chilling with God, and he just really pressed on me, hey, I want you to take the whole month off and I want you to get this done. And I'm like, Rich? And he's like, yeah, take the whole month off and get this done now. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I did. Took the month off, got the book done, and it was actually therapeutic.
I bet.
It was therapeutic for sure. And I kind of deal with memory issues due to the seizures and stuff like that. So I had to kind of depend on the Holy Spirit to bring a lot of stuff back to me. Some stuff I had to fact check with mom and sister and stuff like that, just to make sure I'm getting the details correct. But yeah, it's a lot.
It is. Have you always been a writer? Like,
oh yeah, I used to, like I said, in elementary I was writing songs. In high school I wrote a play. So I used to write poetry too in elementary. Going into middle school, but yeah, I've always been good with writing because I wasn't good with vocalizing. So I was really good with writing stuff. So
you put your feelings on the page. When I tell you this book has been so enlightening, as your friend, as your sister, it's stuff in here that I was just like, it had me in tears, because I was like, you went through that, oh my gosh. And like, you're just so inspiring, and it's just so sad though. Some stuff is sad in here that you hear, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, dang, I just want to give you a hug. Like, oh my gosh, it's amazing to hear your ends, you know. And so, you guys, please go check out her book. It's on Amazon.
Yep, Amazon.
Amazon.
KDP. The Kindle. It's a Kindle version, and then it's the paperback.
Please, okay, go get every version. I'm trying to encourage her to do an audible because, baby, okay, shoot, if she needs a voice over, baby, I will do it. I'll be your huckleberry. I'll read this book because when I tell you, and y'all, the chapters aren't long.
Yeah.
But what it is that it leaves you on your edge of your seat, like, oh, hurry up, go to the next chapter. I promise you. And I'm not just saying this because her. But seriously, when I was listening to her read it, I was like, and my husband was too, and he was like standing in the room trying to keep listening to it because it was just like, oh dang. And then half the time I'm like, okay, I need to hold on. I need to process what you just said. So it's absolutely brilliant. You guys, please go check out her book. But like I said, that wasn't it. This girl was in the process of shooting a whole music video for a song that the Lord woke you up and gave. Can you tell us about this song?
So I was just asleep one night, and it may have been like 3, 4 in the morning. God woke me up, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. And he just randomly started giving me this song, and I'm like, the heck? And he told me to start just listening to beats or whatever. So I had found one that I liked. I just started listening to it, and I just started immediately, like right there and there, like wrote the song. And I started like singing, like I'm walking around my room like singing it out loud, and I'm like, God, this actually good. Like, this is a nice song. And so I'm, well, I don't know what we doing with that, but okay. And so then it was like the next day, it was like, okay, now go record it. I'm like,
go record it. And so I'm like, well, how I do that? Who I contact? Like, what's going on? So I was reaching out to people. They weren't responding.
And so I have my brother Austin. I hit him up because he be knowing everybody. And I'm like, hey, you know somebody that can help me record this song? He like, yeah. So he put me into a connection with, we call him Playmaker. And he put me in connection to Rob, which was the engineer. And we got together one night and just recorded it right then and there. And I was like, whoa. And we was like, and I told him, I said, look, I know y'all probably ain't used to this. It's gonna be a gospel song. Okay. I still wanted to give vibes.
Yeah,
baby. Like, but this is a gospel song. So let's keep it cute. But you know, but they was like, no, be down, let's do it or whatever. We did it, and then after that, I'm like, okay, well, that was cute. And then after that, he's like, all right, now we finna make a video. And he started giving me the visions of the videos and the scenes and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope. And I got with Dunn, my videographer. I'm like, look, I want to do this video. You know, tell me when you're available. Let's do it. We got it done. And child, we were crying the whole making of the video.
Oh my God.
We had to stop about 3, 4 times.
Yes, y'all.
Like, Lord, like the Holy Spirit is in here. It was crazy.
It was crazy, you guys. Me and my husband got to actually open the video, you guys, and I'm gonna put a little snippet in here. But when I tell you, it was so good. Again, I'm not just saying this because who she is, but the song is called Even If You Don't. Yeah. And it's talking about the Lord. If you don't, are you still gonna love him? Are you still gonna dance? Are you gonna still gonna praise? And it be those moments, child. It be those moments where you be like, I love you, Lord, but I don't know. If I'm mad at you right now. I don't know if I love you right now. I don't know if I can dance and if I can. So the song is beautiful, you guys. And it was an honor and a privilege to be a part of it. And her vision was just crazy good. And where did that come from? The whole vision and the concept of the video of the song?
Holy Spirit. Like he just started showing me different things in life that, you know, because my whole thing was what I wanted to portray in the video was these different things that we go through in life, but without a happy ending. Because the truth of the matter is, it don't always happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it may
Mm-hmm.
5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. But if
Mhm.
he don't do it right now,
Mhm.
are you still gonna praise me? You still gonna worship me? You still gonna, So I wanted to show these different stories and show like these people are in distress or they, sad and what am I gonna do? And even though in this moment God not fixing it, I'm still gonna get up and I'm just gonna dance. I'm just gonna worship. I'm just gonna praise. I'm gonna smile. So that's the message that I wanted to portray because that's how my life, that's what I've dealt with in my life. Because regardless of what people see, on the end, like y'all, most of the time, by the time y'all see stuff, y'all are on the ending of what I had to endure before it got to that point. Because even now, I'm like 13 years in now. So it's like yeah, y'all saw me on Dress My Tour last year. Dress My Tour launched last year. That was year 12 of doing this, and so there's things that we're still walking out, waiting on my husband and things like that, which have been in place since I was 16.
Yeah, y'all. She talks about that in the book.
Yeah,
and I actually was gonna dive into that.
Oh God.
How is Kay Daniels' love life? I mean, baby, because your chocolate,
baby, null and void.
What?
Null and void.
Oh, but why? There's a lot of great prospects.
You need to talk to your daddy.
Father, I know it's a lot of great. What we doing? So what? I mean, what? I mean, ain't
It
you
has been
commodity?
No.
Oh.
Oh. I mean, I am, but no.
Oh, okay. What you waiting on? Like,
what he waiting on? You asking me?
Oh.
This ain't got nothing to do with me.
Oh, okay. So you ready?
Yeah, I've been ready since 16.
She's ready.
Since 16.
Okay, so
ready.
where has that dating life been so much so to where Kay Daniels, as established as you are, as beautiful as you are, as creative as you are, as ready as you are, nothing has moved forward.
God sat me down when I was 16. Told me he wanted me to be abstinent and he wanted me to wait because he had a husband for me. I was 16. I knew nothing about God like that. I went to church, of course, but I vocally heard him tell me this.
Wow.
So much so to the point where I text my friends in the group chat like, yo, guess what God just told me? And they're like, girl, you stupid. Be quiet. Be confused. Teenager. Don't have no sex and wait for a husband.
Wow.
So, but that's how clear I heard it. So from that point on, dating has always been serious for me because I know what he told me.
Yeah.
So at that time, of course, I'm young in the faith. I'm young in the walk, and I'm thinking, okay, well, the next man that comes gonna be my husband. So, but what God would do during that time is people wouldn't last 30 days. He had a 30-day clock, and they would all be gone 30 days.
Well, how does it look though? Would that be you or he would?
Oh, they would literally disappear.
Oh, on their end.
Disappear. It doesn't matter how much we were talking, how great the conversation was. Poof, disappear.
I believe that. And
all of
I think it's just men. It's like people that God does not want in your life. I've dealt with that with friends.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what did I do?
And so on top of that, like I said, I was abstinent. So that was for years.
Okay.
So in my walk at the time, that's the first conversation I'm having with you. Hey, to let you know,
it ain't going nowhere.
It ain't. Looking back, I knew I definitely was not ready for none of that. But after that, I broke my abstinence because I was sexually assaulted.
Wow.
And so after that point, I was like, I was over the abstinence. Because I was like, well, God, if somebody could just come through and just swipe it just like that, then what's the whole point? Okay? Like, that was stupid. Did this for years. Like, what? Like, I was almost at the 5-year mark.
Dang.
And I was like, wow. Insane. So, and I just left it alone. And then it was some point after that, I started, I wouldn't even say date. I can't even use the word dating because I was never dating none of these people. It literally would be a conversation or two, a meeting or two.
You were entertaining.
Yeah, I would meet people.
Okay.
So then it went from that to meeting people from church.
Oh.
And I'm naive, so I'm like, oh yes, this is a man of God.
He is about to be it.
Yes.
No. Left me alone.
She was engaged a couple weeks later. Wow. So it was like, it just kept being a process. Then I was in a whatever that was with somebody. We were friends, but I was under the impression that, we were building the friendship for something. Mm-hmm. It ended up not being that. After a couple of years. 2 to be exact. Okay. And that really broke me because at the time I really thought that was gonna be it. Mm-hmm. And when I realized that it wasn't gonna be it, I was kind of over it. Mm-hmm. The dating thing. I just kept meeting these people that, to me, I feel like we're seeing where I was gonna go.
The potential.
Yeah, and they wanted to kind of tag along. And it got to a point where then I started coming into the spirit where it was, hey, I don't like you like that to be in a relationship with you, but let's be business partners. And this happened multiple times. And I'm like, fuck with this, where y'all want to be my business partners, and nobody wants to be in a relationship with me. And it started making me insecure because I'm like, God, like, nobody at least want to make me their girlfriend. Like, I don't even make it to girlfriend. Like, right. We break up after, but at least,
let me get to that.
He want to do that. I'm
right.
Like, what's going on? And then I would be giving, because that's just me. I'm giving myself to these people, and I don't mean just sexually, but I mean just, any person that I meet. I'm trying to build you up. I'm trying to, implant in you so that you can be better. So I'm doing this with all of these people, and I'm steady giving and giving and giving, and it just was never enough. And it just got frustrating to the point where I still was kind of holding on to that one guy from the years ago. Where I was like, well, God, are you gonna bring him back? Like, why is he still here in my heart? And I did a fast at the end of 2022, and I asked God, to just let me know, so because if it's not him, I'm gonna let him go, and we can go on from there. At that point, I was like, okay, God, it's just me and you. I'm not dating nobody else.
Right.
So it's me and you from this point on till you bring them.
Right.
So I went on this fast, and not fast. I just spent the next couple of years just me and God, and I was just studying and. Studying, fasting, breaking stuff off me, which I knew nothing about. At this point now, I'm getting deeper into my faith, like the real stuff, the spiritual warfare, the curses, the covenants, all of this. So God is showing me this. He's breaking these things off of me. He's, I'm fasting, I'm praying, I'm learning the word, I'm studying. Like I'm studying for real. I'm in my prayer closet at night while everybody else sleep. I'm studying, having a good old time, baby. The Bible is good.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's real good. But I'm going through all of this. I'm like, wow, God, and he would just, and what's so crazy is that full year, which was 2023. When I tell y'all, every man I have ever talked to in my life hit me up that year. Wow. We're just coming back to back.
That's how it is. That's what it is.
From you.
Right.
Yeah. So I knew it was the enemy, because I'm like, okay, God doing something, because why is all these, like, for real, So anyway, I went through all of that, and he finally gave me a word. Well, actually, earlier that year, he gave me a word that, hey, like, now, you're in the season, you're in your marriage season now. Your husband is here. Start preparing, start walking like he's here. He's here now, and that was in March of 2023. So ever since then, I've just been patiently waiting and fasting and praying, and he showed me a couple of things that I'm still kind of waiting to see how he plays it out. But it's definitely been a journey, and it's not for the weak. And so I tell people, it's a difference between being a Christian and being a follower. Oh, because I literally live my day to day like, God, what you want me to do today? I don't never know what's next. Like, in anything in my life, every day is okay, what's next? So
even in your love life,
yes, literally. So it has been, honestly, that has been one of the biggest struggles of my life. Wow. Is that area.
I dress my tour.
No,
not music.
No,
your love life.
And what's crazy is that the people that really truly know me know I would give all that up to have my family. And I think God knew that. Well, of course, God knew that as well, which is why he made sure that got took care of first before he brought that, because none of this would have happened.
Right.
Had he brought that earlier, baby. Child, please.
Yep, I ain't
I'm
doing
cooking
none of
for
that.
my husband. Girl, know what you talking about. Now I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ, and I know who I am as a wife. And so it's like now God can fully do what he needs to do. And also he's been training me because, you know, obviously people feel like marriage is just something cute and sweet to do.
No.
But no, you go to the Bible, marriage is a covenant, marriage is war, marriage is a war tactic against the enemy in the world. So it's work that has to be done. And as a wife, being an intercessor, being a prayer, being a, you know, that helped me for my husband. Those are things that a lot of people learn after the fact. And with God's grace, I've been able to learn it prior to.
Amen.
All this time, because he set me down at 16 and said, hey, this is what I got for you. All of these years has been me training, reading, studying, listening to testimonies, seeing why y'all got divorced, why y'all made it. You know, what was you doing? What was you doing? Reading this book, reading that book. And of course, now more so studying the word and what does a wife do when he does come? What do I need to be doing? But what's crazy is that he has me doing those things now. Before he's even here, I'm already interceding in the middle of the night. Amen. I'm already praying and covering you and protecting you and doing all of these things that I'm gonna have to keep doing when you get here. But now it's gonna be just a second nature because I'm already doing it now compared to it getting thrown into it later.
It's okay.
It's all right.
She's gonna do the last laugh and the last say. Okay. And speaking of the last say, you guys, before we wrap, I just want to tell you guys, thank you guys so very much for taking out the time to get to know Cadence. I pray that I tapped on a little bit of everything. Okay. And you guys, please head on over to her channel. Like I said, you guys know her social media handles. I'm gonna put them on the screen somewhere. But not for nothing, we can't leave. Y'all know how we do, how I do with majority of all of my interviews. If you guys have not been staying tuned, we're gonna play a couple of games, and I mean couple too. You ready?
Okay, yeah, let's start over.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna play 2 games. I got first one is called First Off. Okay, and it's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say a name. Okay.
Okay.
Some names you may know, some names you may not.
Okay.
Let's start off with Chris Brown.
My boy. That dude. An entertainer.
Okay. SWV.
Face. Funny.
If y'all ain't noticed, this is some of the people that she has worked with. Okay, she's worked with everybody. Okay, pretty much. Okay, Tony Braxton.
Legend.
Beyonce.
Performer.
Who did he?
Sick.
Tyra Banks.
That girl. Love a good Tyra.
What about Michael?
Interesting. The character. Yeah.
Hey. Macaulay.
My sister. My sister from another mister.
Sierra.
This.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you are out the hot seat in regard to that game.
Yeah. I wasn't.
Now we're going to get into our last game, you guys, before we wrap everything up. Hey, but we're gonna play Would You Rather. Okay. Okay. So, fruits or vegetables?
Vegetables.
Chicken or beef?
Beef.
Would you rather travel the world and have lots of money, or have true love and never travel the world?
Have true love and never travel the world.
Wow. Would you rather drive or fly?
Drive.
Really? Okay. Are you a international traveler or a more local traveler?
Local.
Rather travel locally.
I need the quickest flight.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
So you are a hot girl. You rather be hot than cold.
You know, like the Lord like it.
You're not lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, you passed it. See, it wasn't that bad. Gosh, what you thought I was gonna say?
Yes, I don't know.
Oh, okay. You know, let's throw some stuff in there, shall we? Do you watch shows? You watch TV?
No, you already said this was done, so thank you. I had a blast.
All right, you guys. I had to ask.
Last play that you guys did. What's in store for Kay? What do you have going on?
I don't know. Y'all just gonna have to follow me and see what the Lord do.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know my day-to-day no more.
Can you let them know where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at K Daniels Designs. You can find me on TikTok, hopefully, at TK Daniels. You can find me on my website, kdanielsdesigns.com. And I think I'm on Lemonade.
Me too, girl.
VK Daniels. I don't know how long I'll be there. Just try. YouTube, K Daniels Designs.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you guys so very much again for tuning in to Whitney TV. Please check your girl out on all her social media. Go head on over to Hulu and watch Dress My Tour. Go and cop you her book and go check out her music video. Okay, you guys? And you can see all of this now. Well, thank you guys so very much, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you so very much for tuning into this video. I pray that you got something from it, and if you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and let me know down in the comments what you thought about the video, as well as please follow me on all my social media. You can see it down here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, God bless.